In today's video, we are cooking 3 kind of non-traditional holiday side dishes. We're gonna start with easy and simple because on this channel, you will find easy and simple. I guarantee that because I am no pro here. That's why the channel is called Dinner TBD. TBD stands for, we don't know what's gonna happen, okay? Sometimes it works out and it's awesome, and sometimes maybe dinner doesn't turn out too great, and so therefore it's to be determined. So welcome to the party. So this holiday, I am keeping things extremely simple. We are having a small crowd this year, and by small, it's somewhere between 9 and 11. It's just our small family. Our children are grown except one, and so I have delegated some authority to make this a little less stressful for myself. Plus, it gives the older kids a chance to kind of like learn how to cook a few things, right? And participate. Like, they want to do this. Some of them want to. So here's what the kids are in charge of. 2 vegetable dishes, mashed potatoes, drinks, and an appetizer. That's not hard, and that takes a ton of pressure off me. And also, the best part is I have delegated my husband, Jarrett, to do the turkey. So most of the pressure is off me. He's actually excited about it. He's gonna do that out on the Traeger. So I'm excited to bring you these recipes today on my very first video because I ain't stressing. And I already decorated my table. It looks beautiful. I did that about a week ago. It's probably collecting dust at this point, so I might need to just feather dust it. Shh, don't tell the kids that. Whew. Let's get to it, guys. All right, recipe number 1, sweet potato crunch casserole. Now, my whole family does not love sweet potatoes, and that's why we're making a very small 8x8 dish. So this recipe is not my own. It comes from an old Kroger magazine cutout. It calls for 6 sweet potatoes, a ½ cup of Kentucky bourbon. That's the sweet spot, guys, right there. That's the #1 key ingredient, the bourbon. If you don't want to use bourbon, you can substitute orange juice. 2 eggs, a ½ cup of butter, cup of brown sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. And then for the topping, we need pecans and more brown sugar. In this case, I'm not using 6 potatoes. I'm even cutting that even lower to just 4 potatoes. And if you could put a knife through that very easily, these are done. All right, we're going to attempt to scoop out these potatoes without the skin. I have recently remodeled this kitchen. We bought this 1990s fixer house, and we've done a ton of work to it. But my most favorite thing we've done was obviously this kitchen. It turned out beautiful. I can show you a before picture if you wanted to see the before look. Very 1990s, isn't it? My favorite thing about the layout is probably gonna shock you, is this trash can. Right here. I can scoop everything very easily right there. I love the way it pulls out. There is no shame in loving a beautiful kitchen. You don't have to be a Michelin star chef to still love a beautiful kitchen and enjoy cooking, even if we're not like fantastic at it, right? Okay, I got all these mashed up. All right, the good stuff, y'all. Like I said, Kentucky bourbon. I'm just gonna go with Woodford. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. Don't you think one's enough to hold it together? Same with the cup of brown sugar. Since I've got less potatoes, why don't we just go with 3/4? I love cinnamon. Now the butter. Oh my gosh, you can smell the bourbon. It smells so good. Okay, so I clearly forgot the nutmeg. We're just gonna give it some. Smells like fall. All right, so basically, we're gonna put this in the pan. We're gonna do a cup of pecans in a bowl. ½ cup of brown sugar. Yes, use it, go for it. That was not super sweet. It's sweet enough, but this is gonna do what it needs to. Don't you think that needs more pecans? Yeah, me too. Sprinkle it on. All right, we're just gonna cover this with foil. because I'm not gonna bake it right now. I'm gonna bake it tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving morning. But when I do, I'm gonna throw it in at 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes. That's it. That's gonna be my favorite thing on the table.
The video?
So good. All right, on to recipe number 2, which is called a harvest bowl. This is for your health conscious person in the family. Now, the base of it is very simple, starts with quinoa. What healthy person out there do you know that doesn't love quinoa? And then sweet potato cubes or croutons or however you can find them cubed in the freezer is the way to go if your grocery store doesn't carry them. I'm so sorry and sad for you. Then you can add chicken if you want, dried cranberries, and then we are gonna drizzle it with a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette, a little bit of feta, unless you love feta, then cover it to your heart's desire. And then some pepitas, or I think they're called pumpkin seeds, right? And then we're going to chop up a couple apples right before dinner's ready. So let's get started with the quinoa. This should go really quick. 3 cups of water, and 1.5 cups of quinoa. And then while that's boiling, we're gonna throw in the croutons and let those bake as well. So let's get moving. All right, those are gonna bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. You really don't need to season them, in my opinion. You can if you want to, but this balsamic vinaigrette we're gonna use is gonna take care of the flavors. With this and the feta, it really doesn't need anything on the sweet potatoes. Let's get this chicken chopped up. All right, quinoa's looking fluffy and good. Okay, I've decided that that bowl is not gonna be big enough. So we're switching. The base of it is mixed. We're gonna let this cool for a little while, maybe 30 minutes. Jarrett has to get in here and work on his turkey. So I'm gonna let him do that. While this is cooling, I'll come back and put it together, and then we're moving on to cranberry applesauce. That's Jarrett. You'll be seeing him from time to time too. Sometimes he's known as Jeffrey in this kitchen. We'll tell you why. Because if you ever watch Barefoot Contessa, Ina Garden on Food Network, her husband Jeffrey, he always walks in right at the right time, doesn't he? Right when dinner's ready. That's Jarrett, AKA Jeffrey. No, he does help out in the kitchen, especially with this turkey. I'm so grateful for what he's doing. So let's move on to cranberry applesauce. I've never been a fan of cranberries during the holiday by themselves, cranberry sauce. I've never really had one that's amazing. If you know of an awesome recipe, tell me what you use in your awesome cranberry sauce recipe. Comment below and put it down there. But for several years, I've made cranberry applesauce. It just works and it's sweet. The ingredients are very simple. Fresh cranberries, of course. You're gonna need cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon. I use cinnamon applesauce. Now, you can use whatever applesauce your heart desires, or I have seen other recipes where people peel the apples and cook the apples and make their own applesauce. I don't feel like it's necessary. We're just gonna add the cranberries to already existing applesauce. And doesn't that take a lot of pressure off? I think so. Maybe a splash of lemon juice. And then you're gonna need a food processor because we're gonna process these cranberries. And then something cute to serve it in. Let's get started. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I honestly don't remember how much water to use. So I'm just gonna like barely cover these. Okay, I think we're good. Whoop, yep, we're popping, we're good. Bringing them over here to the sink. We're gonna drain these bad boys. This is my old trusty food processor. It's actually really old. I don't know how long I've had it. A good decade at least, maybe 15 years. I think I'm due for another. So I'm gonna put this on my Santa wish list, but I know that I probably won't get it this year, so maybe I'll put it on my birthday wish list. Cinnamon. Nutmeg, yeah, that's probably enough. Cloves, ooh. That's the holidays right there. Splash of lemon juice. Okay, we could use the zest of an orange. I don't have an orange, but I have a clementine. Will that work? Trusty zester. Clementine. Yeah, let's go with that.
The turkey's on the grill. I'm running to the office because my server messed up. But the turkeys should be good for a minute, so.
Well, we'll trust you on that. Okay, see you in a minute. Oh yeah, that's much better. Look how red and beautiful that is. You know, when it's full of that much color, it's just God-given nutrients. I love it. Let's go with this one. So I want to put the cranberry in the bowl first. I don't know if I want to add the entire jar of applesauce yet. We're gonna taste it as we go. No high fructose corn syrup, so that's good, but 21 grams of sugar per half cup. I think this might be fine on its own. It says cinnamon, but guys, does that look like it has any cinnamon in it? I don't know that it does. All right, let me see if that is enough or too much. That's a little tart. I feel like it needs more cinnamon. I think we could get some of the juices from this orange. Clean spoon, let me try again. Perfecto. I love it. All right, I feel like it has just enough sweetness and just enough tartness. Like it tastes like apple, it tastes like cranberry. I think it's good. It's warm, so once it's cold and it sits overnight, I'll reevaluate in the morning and add whatever needs to be added. Good morning, it is now Thanksgiving morning. Everyone's still kind of waking up. I've got a pie in the oven and I'm just going to transfer my cranberry applesauce to, I thought I was gonna put it in this dish I got at the consignment store, but it's a little bit too big for the amount of applesauce I made. We're just going with a simple round serving dish. Basically, we just stick a serving spoon in it and call it good. Now, you could garnish it with something pretty like cinnamon sticks or maybe a holly leaf and a cranberry, or if you had extra cranberries. But let's be real, y'all, we don't have to make everything pretty, do we? It's just cranberry sauce. And quite honestly, this is what it's gonna look like on your child's plate. Okay, so for the harvest bowl, all I did was move it to a prettier setup. And I did throw in another little tray of like a half bag of more cubed sweet potatoes. So note to self, if you like extra and you want like a layer of freshly baked sweet potato cubes, pick up 2 bags. I'm gonna throw this in the oven to heat it up and then we're gonna add the toppings. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little tiny bit of lemon juice to this because they're gonna be kind of resting for a little bit before everyone gets here. And now we're going to just sprinkle this on top. Now maybe not everyone in the family likes feta, so I'm just gonna put like a little bit on the side. Last but not least, we're gonna drizzle on the balsamic ever so gently, just a little bit to give it a shine. All right, that's it for the harvest bowl. This is just gonna get covered until we may or may not have to heat it a little bit. And then I'm going to heat up the sweet potato casserole so you guys, the sweet potato crunch, excuse me, so you guys can see what that looks like finished. And then we need to check in on Jared's turkey and see how that turned out. I guess I better try my own food, right? So we make sure it's good for everyone else. Yeah, it's all there, it's all good. Love those crunchy pepitos. That's really good, and it tastes healthy. Actually, this is really good. I did not give you a quality reaction the first time. Number 1, I was hangry. Number 2, I exploded quinoa all over the microwave. And so this is delicious, and I'm definitely gonna make this for lunch for myself some other day. All right, what about that turkey? How'd it go?
Last night it went pretty well. I am going to reheat it on the grill here in a minute. So what I'm doing is taking an injector and I heated some butter up, and I'm just putting as much butter in the meat as I can. You know, let that butter kind of work its way through that meat as it heats up. Hopefully, and I've never done this, so this might turn out awesome or terrible. But hopefully, you can see, watch, the butter starting to come out of the meat. But hopefully this turns out pretty good. And I'm gonna take the rest of this butter I got, I guess, and baste this turkey. And then it's gonna go on our grill for like 2 or 3 hours. And
heat it back up.
yeah, I smoked this thing last night for like 5-6 hours. Got it the temperature. I'm not gonna cook it again today. I'm just trying to get it back to heat and serving temperature. But I'm just trying to shove this butter down in it. That way, when it comes back off the grill, hopefully we have a really moist turkey.
Your turkey turned out great. I'm so excited about it. The sweet potato crunch is so good. I should have made the 9x13.
And since it's Thanksgiving and everybody's not here yet, let's not get loaded, so we'll take a small shot.
There's Mom. Mom's here. Happy holidays, everyone. Dang. Hope you liked the first video of a brand new channel. Come back next week.